What is going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Hit the like button if you haven't already, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or a video drops. Appreciate you coming back. After this Roster Bubble Series profile, we got two more to do since the Giants have added new blood in Julian Davenport and Ray Wilborn. So we're going to go over those guys in the next two episodes. So the series isn't officially done yet, but we have one guy to talk about today, which is Tommy DeVito, and I'm going to give you guys a rundown of how we usually do these videos real quickly. So we take a player that's on the cusp of being cut. I talk about the background, the competition, ways they could get a spot on the roster, ways they may not get a spot on the roster, and a prediction at the end. Also, let's go into our sponsor real quick before we go out there and do the profile on Tommy DeVito. For the first time in the history of the channel that's been running 3 long years and over 1.4K subs strong, we have an official sponsor. Yes, we are now sponsored by the ticket vendors known as SeatGeek. Looking to go to a concert, Giants game, a ball game in general, now you can, with our help, get $20 off your entire order with the promo code Big Blue in the Bronx. That's all scrunched in one, no abbreviations, nothing like that, just the channel or the podcast name. So we're going to talk about Tommy DeVito today, who has an interesting background as a local Jersey kid, went to Don Bosco High School in Ramsey, New Jersey. But let's go over him real quick. He's 25 years old, 6'2", 210 pounds. Started his career at Syracuse, then went to Illinois for a year, undrafted, and now he's a New York Football Giant. Played in a game. We'll talk about that. I'm going to go over his college stats, his traits, and then we'll go into what he did and what he's been doing in camp as well. So 2018 with Syracuse, 7 games, had a completion percentage of 50.6, so not very good in those limited games. 525 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I'm not going to go to passer rate because it seems like in college it's extremely inflated, so I'm not going to even touch that with a 10-foot pole. 2019 with Syracuse, 12 games, completion percentage of 63.2, 2,360 yards, 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Then his junior season, he had 2 junior seasons because you could take the extra with the COVID season. But his junior season with Syracuse, the first one, 2020, he played in 4 games, 50% completion, 593 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2021 with Syracuse, his second junior season, 3 games, 61.5% completion, 388 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And then finally makes the transfer over to Illinois with Brett Bielema. I think that's the coach's name. He used to be our linebackers coach, if some of you guys remember. But under him, he flourished a little bit more, not as much as 2019 in some areas, but had a very good completion percentage in 13 games of 69.6. That was the highest of his career at college. 2,650 yards. That's a career high. 15 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So low on the interceptions, but in terms of passing touchdowns, almost alike to 2019. Now, you take a look at his traits coming out of college. Accuracy was there. Solid reaction time to open targets. He sees an open guy, he's going to throw it. Take some risks rather than checkdowns. That's a good thing you want to see out of a developmental quarterback, not always taking the check down, but take some risks. Why not? You could get lucky on a couple of them. However, here are some other things that are traits of Tommy DeVito, but they're not in the good area. They're in the bad area. His deep ball isn't great, number 1. Number 2, lacks ability to read the entire field. So, yeah, he does have a reaction time that's good to open targets. You will see, or at least I saw at camp, that very early on he could not read a defense. He was getting confused. A lot of guys would quickly get open, or, just it looked open or it wasn't open, whatever the case may be. Tommy DeVito looked confused, and I'm like, oh God, I don't know if this guy's even going to make the practice squad as a 3 quarterback or whatever the case may be. Mostly a pocket quarterback with a lack of speed. He did have some rushing yards against the Detroit Lions. Not many, though. Goes to the lack of offensive production and talent level. He is a backup quarterback, and that's likely his ceiling. A Jimmy Garoppolo type. Now, Garoppolo, yes, he's been to a Super Bowl, was a starter for a little while. He's a starter for the Raiders this year and all these different things, but Garoppolo-type backup is really the ceiling I see for Tommy DeVito. What did he do against the Detroit Lions? I thought he did solid, given the situation of lack of a running game and an offensive line that was putrid. 15 to 24, 155 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 5 sacks taken. That interception was just a lob up on a 4th down, and he was pissed afterwards. He was pissed at himself. He's like, why did I do that? But Darren Waller, Daniel Jones, Tyler Taylor, they're like, okay, kid, calm down. You're going to be fine. And he's looked better ever since in camp. So that's actually a good thing to see, because it's not really just about, he's going to make the roster as the third quarterback. We don't even know if they're going to keep 3 QBs. It's also about, hey, is this guy going to make the practice squad, and could he be the third quarterback from there? Let's just say on game day they need a third quarterback. They want a third quarterback. Is it going to be Tommy DeVito? Kind of like what they did with Davis Webb a couple of games last year. But his competition, obviously Tyrod Taylor, but also just anyone for a general roster spot or a practice squad spot. How can he win? Progress when it comes to reading defenses. The next 2 weeks, it's going to be vanilla. Obviously, it's the preseason. You're not going to see tons of really schemy stuff from defensive playbooks from the Jets, and obviously this coming week against the Panthers. But it's going to be the simple stuff, and Tommy DeVito is still trying to elevate his game in terms of reading defenses. So whatever the DC of the Panthers, throws out there, he's going to have to react to and find his open targets. And if he doesn't find open targets, throw it away or just book it and run. Because, yeah, he is a pocket quarterback, but sometimes you have to take off in today's modern NFL. I mean, Aaron Rodgers will have to do that. A couple other different guys as well. Limited turnovers. That's the one thing in college that he was very good at. He was very good at limiting his turnovers. And once again, back to that Lions game, that 1 turnover was just a heave it up, last chance, 4th down, game on the line, stuff like that. And of course, obviously, it's not a real game, but he's trying to make a roster spot as an undrafted out of college. Limiting the turnovers is going to help him make a roster spot or a practice squad spot with the Giants or any other team that needs another quarterback. Accuracy improves. His accuracy is already there. There was a couple of passes that you could wonder, why the hell would you throw that, or where are you throwing that from the Lions game? But I thought the accuracy has improved. But I think what's going to come down to for Tommy DeVito is reading defenses. I think that's going to be the biggest step he needs to take in order to be on the practice squad or, surprisingly, the roster. I think that would be the biggest surprise, if anything, that he makes the roster. I know I'm giving away my prediction a little bit, but we'll get there. How can he lose? Accuracy starts to waver. I think that's one of the biggest things he has is accuracy. And if that starts to waver, the Giants might be looking for another QB to go on the practice squad or even keep as a third. Reading defenses becomes an issue against vanilla schemes. That's what it is. It's all vanilla. It's basic install on the defensive side of the football for every team in the NFL. If he doesn't succeed against that the next 2 weeks, I'm a little scared. And also, just wanted to note this as well. The Jets scored 27 points on the Panthers. Now, of course, you could say, okay, that was mostly the running game, getting them down the field, whatever the case may be, whatever. But if they gave up that many points, I mean, listen, Tommy DeVito could have a little bit of field day against the 2-3 squad. And then turnovers. I don't think Tommy DeVito is going to have an issue with turnovers. I really don't. I don't think he's going to take too many risks. He could take some nice risks, and maybe they end up in turnovers and interception. Fumbles would probably be one of the worst issues, but an interception, as long as it's like a deep ball or a heave it up 4th down, game on the line type thing, I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. But I also, once again, don't think he's going to commit that many turnovers in the next 2 weeks. But how can he win? Progress when it comes to reading defenses. Accuracy improves, limited turnovers. How can he lose? Accuracy starts to waver. Reading defenses becomes an issue against vanilla schemes. Turnovers. Prediction, I think he's going to be cut, but I also think that, and I don't make many practice squad predictions, but I think Tommy DeVito is actually going to make the practice squad. I think if he grows his game a little bit more in terms of reading defenses, he is going to need, in terms of a talent level, he's going to need, whenever he starts, a heavy run game. Like 49ers level heavy, Jets level heavy with Breece Hall last year before he got hurt. He's going to need a heavy running game to support him, probably about 60-70% of the time. So you have that. But also, once again, going back to the point earlier, Tommy DeVito, I think he'd be a solid backup in this league. That's his ceiling. And if not, 3 quarterback that comes in, competes for a spot, whatever. And also, I don't mean to put this out there, but the XFL, the USFL, the Fan Control Football League, those teams are always looking for new players. So I think Tommy DeVito could be fits there. However, I do think he's going to make the practice squad. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when the live stream pops for video drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. We've got 2 more episodes. As of right now, after this, if the Giants bring in some more new blood, like a guy off the street, there's going to be a roster bubble video for them. Unless it's 100% chance they make the roster. I don't know, like let's just say Andrew Thomas. Well, not Andrew Thomas, but someone who has, good veteran resume, stuff like that. Whatever. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.